What is up, everyone? Ken, also known as Wiltshire here, and welcome to episode 2 of Build Log. Now, Build Log is basically a vlog of me changing all the parts on my computer rigs and taking you guys along for the journey if you were unfamiliar what Build Log is. Now, if you haven't seen the first episode of Build Log, click the I in the upper right-hand corner of the video, or you can click the link that's in the video description to watch the first episode of Build Log. So that is what Build Log is. We have a few upgrades today. We have a new lens for my camera. I have a clip-on microphone this time, so we have upgrades everywhere. So let's get right into the parts that we'll be using today in today's video. So we'll start off first with the ventilated front panel that I found on Corsair's official website. Now, the original panel, which I have sitting right here already for the 350D, is just a slab of brushed aluminum, which means there's no airflow in the front, even though there's mounts to use fans in the front of the case. Why, Corsair? Why wasn't this just a thing from the start? You should have. I mean, it was only $11 for me to buy it Canadian, which was great. I mean, they're probably trying to get rid of them, but it should have been there in the first place. So that will be the first upgrade that we'll be doing, and we'll be pairing that along with two Corsair SP120 Quiet Edition fans. These are static pressure fans, and I decided to go with static pressure to get a little bit more airflow through the vent and the dust filter. There's actually a built-in dust filter that's behind this vent too. I forgot to mention that earlier. So we'll be using those. I actually had to drive about an hour for those because those are discontinued fans and they are in this computer already, and I wanted everything to match. They do come with 3 colored rings. Right now the ring is blue currently on the inside of this fan, but it comes with white, red, or blue rings, and we'll swap that out to red rings so we can make that match with the fans that are currently in there. The next upgrade that we're going to move on to, and we're actually just going to move these fans out of the way here, is the power supply. Now, I was working on a video at work because this is my work computer. It travels between work and home. This is also my streaming computer for Twitch. So I have a dual PC set up. I have the Threadripper for my main computer. This is my streaming computer with a 4K capture card in it. But anyways, as I was using this rendering a video, I noticed some instability on the PC. And the recommended power supply, after I looked it up for the Vega 64, is a 750 watt power supply. Now, I currently have an RM650i Corsair power supply in this, which is 100 watts lower, which I wouldn't really recommend running the Vega 64 on. You could probably get away with it if you undervolted it, but I've overclocked this thing and undervolted it, so it's probably drawing a little bit more power than 650 watts. So we've gone with the Corsair HX750i. Now, the difference between this power supply, it's also fully modular, is that it's platinum rated. So it's an 80 platinum, I believe, and this one's 80 gold, or 80 plus platinum. This one's 80 plus gold. So we have a little bit more power efficiency out of this buddy over here. And I've also gone ahead and ordered the official Corsair sleeved cables for this power supply. Now, I originally ordered these for the RM650i that I have in this computer here. The problem is that they only fit the original RM series, not the RMI series. So I bought the wrong cables, but I was like, you know what, might as well upgrade the power supply. And luckily, the cables that I bought for this fit this power supply. This power supply was on sale, and so were these cables. So those are all the parts that we got. I also had the screws for the front panel for the fans. I keep all the parts that come with my cases in case I ever need to upgrade things later, like now. So those are the parts that we'll be installing today in this computer. That's the plan for today. We'll start off with the front panel and the fans, and then we'll work our way to the power supply because the power supply is going to take more time. I have to undo all of the cable managing I did in the last video, take the power supply shelf out, take the old power supply out, put the new one in, and then use the braided cables and then cable manage again. So that's going to be the most time-consuming part, is the power supply. So we'll start with the non-time consuming part, which is just swapping all of this out really quick. And we get to do the best part of computer building ever. Gotta love that sound. Okay, so I've taken the power supply out. Now I have the HX750i out of its box now, and I have the 650, or the RM650X. It's not an I thought it was an I, but it's an X. However, the PSU is actually longer, the new one, which I kind of expected that due to, you know, the higher wattage of the power supply. And we have all the cables that I'm going to need here. So I have all the sleeved cables. I have the mini USB cable for Corsair Link. This power supply actually supports Corsair Link, so it should give me the ability to control fans and whatnot, and a few other things. I do have the 24-pin cable that came with the power supply, because again, my 24-pin has not arrived in the red sleeving because Corsair, for some reason, sells them separately. Why, Corsair? Why? Anyways, so we have everything out of the computer now. We should be ready to rock. I'm just going to quickly throw the power supply in there. We're going to wire everything up, and we're going to call it a night on the 350D. I just finished putting everything back together, and I got a delivery with 3 more parts in it. So I have decided to get some Cable Mod AIO sleeving right there, and I've gone with the red. I don't know if you can see it, it's kind of hard to see. It's about the same color, if not a little bit darker than the Corsair cables that are right there. And I've actually got the 24-pin cable that is supposed to be for the same kit as the Corsair cables that I bought for the new power supply. I also got a 90-degree angle USB 3 connector. Let's see if I can get it to focus. Focus, come on. All right, it doesn't really want to focus. Anyway, it's a 90-degree angle cable, so I can actually cable manage the, let's see if I can just get a better shot of the USB 3 there. So I can cable manage the USB 3 cable that's right there. I don't like how it's kind of sticking up, and I'd like to have it at 90 so I can cable manage it a little bit better. So this guy here is going to have to come out. This is going to have to come out. This whole shelf now is going to have to come out. Unfortunately, I just finished everything. It looks awesome. But I have the cable sleeving to do. I have the 24-pin cable. And then now I have the 90-degree angle USB 3 cable adapter to put in there as well. So, back at it again. Got to take everything out. So I had to quickly stop the video because on the end of the new 24-pin cable that I bought, it says AX1200/AXI only. I actually had to go back on Corsair's website and make sure it was compatible with the HXI, which it is, but that doesn't really help a lot of people that are beginners. That kind of scares people away. I mean, it scared the shit out of me. So, we're good. False alarm. I had to stop and check though. All right, so this is what the computer will look like as a whole. I just have to put the graphics card in, the capture card back in, and then wire those two up. But for the most part, this is what this is going to look like. The power supply cable is now sleeved as well. I actually think it looks a lot nicer having the red sleeving on the AIO tubing. I'm actually a big fan of it, and it's very close match to the Corsair one. It's a little bit shinier, if not a little bit brighter, but it matches pretty much anyway, so I'm very happy with that.